Okay, so this is the before of the Honda Accord spoiler. So you see the original brake light here. And what I want to do is I'm trying to cut out the original third brake light, and I'm going to install a spoiler light. So here you see these screws on the side. Those screws are going to have imprints already in the trunk, so your stock trunk will have them, so it's a guide. This spoiler uses a total of 6 screws, so 4 on the sides and 2 in the middle, as you can see. So you remove the liner here, and you're going to also make a hole to pass the brake light. So you will make a total of 7 holes in your trunk. You want to start with a 1/8 inch drill bit and then use a 5/16. So when you make these holes, you might have instructions when you order the spoiler. You're going to see it also comes with a black pad. So that pad will have holes. I use that pad to guide me where to drill the holes. Just line it up well and you can drill through there. Now I also purchased the screws that came with the spoiler from the original order. They were too short, so I had to buy 3/4 inch length screws. I believe they were number 10 in terms of their measurement and thickness. So this power cable, I wrapped it around the existing cables to kind of tuck it away. I used a total of 3 zip lines just to keep it snug so it doesn't catch on anything here. And when I'm running it under here, I used a little bit of electrical tape, as you can see, so it stays onto those existing power cables. And there's some sort of a little hook latch where I sat the power cable on and I taped it on, as you can see right here. So you want to do that so it doesn't snag on anything in case you guys have like a full trunk load if you're doing a road trip or something. There it is one more time with electrical tape. And this piece, I did end up taping it on with some shipping tape I have that's pretty sticky, just to keep it out of the way. So to remove the back airbag cover, you remove the weather liner, you just pull it up, it's pretty easy. And the cover pops off pretty simply, just pull back on it. So here I'm going to pass the power cable through. I'm using a metal wire, it's about 1 foot in length. So you see the little hole, so that's where I want to pull it through to bring it down. So this is the back side. I use some tape to keep it snug so it makes it easier to pass through. So go ahead and pull it through. Don't be fast. You don't want it to snag on anything. Give it a little wiggle just to get it passed through, but try not to use too much pressure so it doesn't fall off. There you see it passed it through. There's the little opening, you'll see the light going through it. So I cut off about 2 feet of the cable, I didn't need so much. And I removed the stock, that's the connection for the stock third brake light. And these are the wires I want to tap into. So I'm going to use a quick splice connector. I'm going to use 2 of them. It's kind of hard to see. So the green wire is the hot wire, or the one that gives you the green would connect to your red, and then the black connects to your black, so that's your neutral. So I have them cut now. I just used my pliers, or if you have cable cutters, they both work. Try to cut it nice and even. And I'm now going to separate this cable so I can start splicing it. Now if you guys haven't spliced before, it's not too difficult with quick splice connectors, as you see me using there. Now you can solder, which would have a more permanent connection, but I don't think it's extremely crucial. So here I'm going to use the pliers to press down. If you guys want to learn how to do this, it's pretty simple. Just look up quick splice connector and you'll see YouTube videos on that. And if you see the black and white cable that I unclipped, that's the original power source that goes to the third brake light. So I unclipped that, but later on I realized since I cut this cable anyway, there's no live power going through it. So I just clipped it back on so it's flush. And once you finish these quick splices or the quick splice connectors, you can just kind of tuck them back behind the black cable. You want to leave a little bit of slack so it's not too tight, and make sure you get a firm clamp because you don't want the wire to fall out. I had that happen I think twice. So just make sure it's nice and firm, don't rush it, and make sure it clips on properly, and you should have a good connection. Now right here, the green cable came out, so I was kind of just figuring out how to do it. If you slowly pry it back open, you can wedge the cable back in, but again, just don't yank anything and you should be fine. Now, if you guys are trying to change the speakers or remove the third brake light altogether, like for some reason it went out on you, it shouldn't since it's LED, but if it does, that black piece, there's another video on YouTube. I believe the guy is changing his speakers, so you can probably type that in. But that piece removes pretty easily. You kind of just wiggle it up and it pops off. There are some rivets there that should be quite easy to remove, but in this case you don't need to remove them. Now if you guys are just trying to remove the brake line and add a spoiler like I am here, you don't need to remove the backrest, but I did it just so it's easier to work with. So I have another video that shows how to remove your seat. So that's the bench, your backrest, and the side cushions. But this power cable sits on the driver's side cushion. So to do that, you would remove the bottom part of the bench and then the right cushion. So here I'm going to show the successful installation, and that's what it looks like. So hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. I know the video is not perfect, but it's here to help for those that are trying to install a spoiler.